This week's champion trends feature Lucian, Pantheon, Elise, Rumble, Kale, and Kha'Zix. I'm Lindsay with Zam Network, and this is LolKing's League Trends. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the biggest increases in pick rates feature Kha'Zix, Lucian, Rengar, Lee Sin, and Kassadin. The Purifier shines on the Rift as the brightest carry in the league. In the summer split of LCS alone, Lucian has been picked or banned in nearly every game. Let's take a look at why he's the most popular carry in the game. Lucian has it all, and there's no real weakness to his kit. He has one of the strongest laning phases due to his poke with Piercing Light and Ardent Blaze, along with his ability to burst down his opponents in a quick combo. Lucian is also a very mobile carry because of his E, Relentless Pursuit. It's a gap closer that also removes all slowing effects. When he takes part of a kill, the ability's cooldown will reset, allowing him to chase his enemies down and play cleanup crew. When combined with his passive Light Slinger, he can take down teams and towers with alarming speed. Overall, Lucian is a solid pick for any team and will continue to delete people off the map for the foreseeable future. Decreases in pick rate this week have Soraka down nearly 2.5% from last week. Following her and making his first appearance on our show is Braum, while Pantheon, Jax, and Jinx finish off the list. Pantheon fell from the sky and never got back up. As if the meta change wasn't bad enough for him, he also got a nerf to his ultimate. He was able to cast Aegis of Zionia as he was falling from the sky. However, now he has to wait until after he lands. This little change made a huge difference to Pantheon's catch ability and has definitely been hurtful to his kit. Pantheon has always been a high-risk champion that needs to snowball early, and if he can't get successful ganks, he is completely useless. He won't do enough damage to kill anyone, and he won't be tanky enough to be the front line. Basically, he's just as useful as I am in an ARAM, good for feeding. He's also one of the slowest farming junglers, and that might not be worth attempting if you're behind. I guess his fate on the unpopular kids list is pretty much sealed. Maybe he should take up baking. The biggest increase in win rates this week include Nautilus, Cassiopeia, Elise, Vel'Koz, and Riven. With Kha'Zix nerfed in the jungle role, it's time for the Spider Queen to take control of her jungle once again. Since the Kha'Zix nerfs, Elise is looking better just by comparison as she's not been touched since her major changes a few patches ago. With the Meteos build consisting of Spirit of the Ancient Golem and Lucidity boots, Elise transforms from an early game assassin to a late game crowd control monster. This build allows Elise to reach max cooldown reduction fairly easily and quickly. When her cocoon is maxed, her stun is on a 6-second cooldown with a 2-second stun duration. This allows Elise to have more utility going into the late game and use her stun multiple times during a team fight. Even without building damage items, simple CDR will make Elise do more damage as she's able to spam her ability almost twice as much. With the jungle constantly in flux, expect to see Elise poking her creepy self all over Summoner's Rift. Soraka heads up yet another list on our show, the largest decrease in win rates. Sion, Trundle, Rumble, and Poppy round it out. Rumble has recently received a buff to bring him into the top laner club to counter meta champions like Renekton, Shyvana, and Jax in lane. However, the reason why Rumble is not picked up in competitive matches is due to the 2v1s in the current meta. The meta requires top laners to be able to farm well in the jungle, and sadly, Rumble is not a champion that can do that efficiently, regardless of his badass skin Rumble in the jungle. Rumble still has massive teamfight presence because of his ultimate, the Equalizer, which can be used in many ways. In a siege, it can be used to clear a minion wave as well as helps in zoning the other team away from a tower you're taking down. It can be used to zone off an area for safe disengage or split up a team to create small skirmishes. The Equalizer can even be used in a long-distance engage to slow down the other team and allow your team to catch up. Overall, Rumble is a strong champion, just not for the current competitive setting. Look for him mostly in solo queue. Champions on the biggest increase in ban rates list this week have Rengar up first with over 35%. Kale, Kassadin, Braum, and Shaco finish off the list. Due to a new build featuring Runan's Hurricane, Kale is coming back to popularity. We all know that attack speed is a good stat that Kale can work with, which is one of the reasons why Nashor's Tooth is so good on her. Some even say that Nashor's Tooth is an item that was made for Kale since she seems to be the only champion that can capitalize on all of its stats better than anyone else. With Nashor's and Hurricane, she gets a total of 120 bonus attack speed. Hurricane allows you to attack 3 targets at a time and applies on-hit effects, which means that it will apply her passive, Holy Fervor, allowing her to take up to 15% resistance from 3 targets. It's likely that we will continue to see Kale picked into champions like LeBlanc and Yasuo in competitive with this build. Our last list this week is the largest decrease in ban rates. Soraka continues her negative trend at the top, while Nidalee, Kha'Zix, Master Yi, and Morgana trail behind. As we mentioned earlier, the jungle is still in flux, which is why Kha'Zix ban rate continues to fall. Jungle Kha'Zix was the role that always evolved his ultimate first, which allowed him to be extremely tanky in the early stages of the game while dishing out tons of damage. The increased cooldown change between each cast of his ultimate gave the other team a bigger window to burst him down. Because of this, we've seen him in the top and mid lane. His new positions are working out pretty well, and it shows how strong of a champion the Void Reaver really is. With the top junglers banned, players still resort back to Kha'Zix as he's still a viable pickup. However, Kha'Zix is getting a rework to his kit on the PBE, which will most likely put him out of competitive play. The bug we all know and love may very well be squished for good. And that does it for this week's show. Please be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure to like and comment below if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolKing.net, for more great content. Thanks to Cloth5 for the analysis. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitter at LindsayGeektron. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week.